Episode 2 of our Southampton series, and we are picking up from where we left off. First off, I just witnessed one of the best playoff matches of all time between Coventry and Ipswich, and our good youth players have all been promoted. It was a very good pull. All the players either grew from 2 stars to 3 and so on. With us getting more than 5 talents, Middlesbrough won the playoffs, meaning they will be joining us next season. The team of the year came out, and I'm not surprised by this at all. Stewart and Adam Armstrong, Bazunu, Harwood Bellis, and of course Brooks were all amazing. Unfortunately, Mark Robins won Manager of the Year. I don't really care, he can take Championship. I'll take the Premier League, and it seems the game has the same opinion as you guys, as Adam Armstrong won the Player of the Season. Our reserves is actually stacked right now, especially with players like Bella Kochap and Alcaraz returning from their loans soon. Oh, and before I forget, I have to give all my prospects new contracts before they leave me and make me cry. Why is the game telling me about Hardwood as if he won't leave the club soon? I actually asked you guys whether I should renew Adam's contract. You all gave your opinion, and the obvious one was that I shouldn't keep him. So I'm going to renew his contract and then sell him. We now have players returning from their loans, like Lanko. It's so sad to see Brooks go. Hopefully the board give me enough money so I can buy him next season. It doesn't hurt that much to see Harwood go, but he will be missed. Now for our shameless plugging. Please like and subscribe to the channel, it means a lot. So the final table, Southampton, Leeds and Middlesbrough will all be in the Premier League. Bella Kochap really improved. As long as no big club comes for him, we will have an elite defender.
2 hours later.
Well guys, we have our first casualty. Chelsea have made an offer for Kyle Walker-Peters, and the offer is for $1 million. That's not going to do anything for me, but they scammed me and I'm going to have to deal with it, and Walker-Peters is gone. Of course, his value FLIs to $15 million. The board are going to cook me. The new season starts and they want mid-table, which isn't impossible, but the expectations are really high. Alright, they gave us $70 million to spend, and judging by the gaps left here, I need a centre back, right back and right midfielder. Unfortunately, most of our youth players are defensive midfielders, so I'd have to buy them. Let me just promote them real quick. At first, I wanted to buy Manhove, but then I decided to ask you guys which right back I should buy. After reading through your comments, I decided James Justin would be perfect. He's going to cost $11.5 million, which isn't all that crazy. Now initially Arsenal came to me for Bazunu for only $4.7 million, and the Southampton board dismissed the transfer as unacceptable, which is a relief. I don't understand why his value is so low, but I'm very sure I'm not entertaining anything like this. And just like that James Justin is a Southampton player, for the right wing spot, I'm going to sign Brooks back, and for $15 million. It's a done deal. Oh, and finally, Bazuna's value went up to $28.5 million. Imagine if I sold him for $4 million. I would have cried. Side note, but Kisa just had a generational season. Anyways, I'm going to loan Oscar Bob for squad depth.
One pathetic sob story later.
And they have caught me. $20 million for Larios, and I have to accept it, and he's gone. On to our first friendly against Spurs, to see whether we can use the 4-for-2 against Premier League clubs. Armstrong got the first chance of the game, but he was unable to score. We both had our chances, but we soon conceded as Son raced forward to score. Then a few moments later Carvalho made it 2-0, and that was how it ended. We just didn't take our chances, and they've come again for my players. This time is Bella Kochap. Are you kidding me? $36 million bidding war. Well, at least let's see where he'll go. And he rejected Newcastle and went to Lille. Speaking of Newcastle, they offered me a job out of nowhere, which I will not accept because that just defeats the purpose of this series.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
I couldn't do anything, guys. Bazunu is gone. I don't know why these teams are trying to ruin me. Well, for his replacement, I have 3 players lined up: Trafford, Meslier, and Hermanson. Dodd. In the end, I went with Meslier. Trafford was unbelievably expensive, and Hermanson didn't want to come. This is my team right now. And finally, they made an offer for Adams, and for $19 million, he's gone. Besides, I have Amo Amaya, who has unbelievable potential. I signed a young centre-back named Zach Johnson for $6.25 million, so that I can loan him out. Blackburn offered money for Khalid Carr, and I honestly don't care about him, so I got $14 million from this deal. For my starting centre-back, I'm going for Micah Marmel for $27.5 million. It's a very good acquisition.
5 minutes later.
And again, aren't these people tired? Chelsea have made a 43.5 million offer for Alcaraz, and of course I have to accept. I wanted to sign Archie Gray, but he didn't want to join us, so the search continues. On to our first match against Wolves, where we'll see whether we're ready for this. Wolves had the first chance, but it came off the post. Then we had our first chance, but we couldn't convert. We then had our first big chance, but Armstrong somehow put it wide. It was cagey all though, up until a defensive error let Sekou Mara score in the 80th minute. But then of course Wolves equalised, and that's how it ended. The search for a midfielder continued for a very long time, until I found Luka Susic, and I had to splash the cash by spending 65 million on him. I hope he won't flop. Meanwhile, Rashford just scored 5 goals in one match. The next match was against Burnley. It was a horrendous performance which made me realise that 4-4-2 won't work. Even Burnley are using 4-2-3-1. Our next game against Manchester United was a cagey affair, and after all that it ended in a 0-0 draw, with Meslier being man of the match. Then we had the Carabao Cup match against Birmingham. They scored in 2 minutes and I was getting worried, so I made some tactical adjustments. They almost scored again, but it went wide. They continued to put pressure on me and we went into the halftime break trailing, but seconds after the restart we constructed a nice move which ended up as a goal for Aribo. He then got a brace from a cross out wide which he converted to put us 2-1 up. We then won a penalty which Manning converted. It ended 3-2, but there was an obvious improvement from that Burnley game which will not be spoken of. Our last game of the video against Newcastle, which was going well as we scored through Sekou Mara in the 69th minute, but then and we lost the game 2-1. We are now just outside the relegation zone after 4 games, and that's it for the video. Drop any tactical or admin suggestions down in the comments. We still have 74 million to spend, so see you all in the next video.